The choruses are still 1,000.
Oh, of course, he's the
Chorus
hook
king.
He's the hook god of the art.
I know a Flame would have issues with that.
Oh no! We're gonna get spicy on that one a little bit later.
Do you act these waffles on your pictures?
I do. Like
you actually do.
I actually do.
I don't.
I'm not like you.
I'm not
a hater.
I hit him up on the Insta Live. No, Insta Story though.
But the Insta Story doesn't count.
It does. It actually does. I get more views on my Insta Story than I get even reactions on my main line. Insta Story is the new future.
Okay, if you say so. Dizzy Waffles, here's the man you need to deal with. What up and welcome to another episode.
No, because I'm in the middle seat. Oh. Can you relax?
Okay.
Thank you. What up?
Hey.
Anyway, I stopped Cosmo because I'm like, I'm in the middle seat. Because you've been having the middle seat for 2 weeks now. We have this one. But she's got all the topics. She's got everything that's going down. And we've got a hectic guest. And sponsorship-wise, we've got a hectic lineup.
We've got something spicy that's coming for us today as well. We're quite keen to actually partner with this brand. So we're quite excited about how we're going to branch out with it. But before we get to all of that, let's welcome our beautiful guest.
Another spicy one.
Oh, what?
Extra hot.
What?
No Doritos.
What?
Flaming hot.
She doesn't come in a triangle.
What?
She's all angles.
Flaming hot. She's spicy. She good. Her name is Bontle.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
I'm great. Yo, guys, I love this show. So you have no idea what this means to me. Like I don't miss a single ep. I stand you guys. Like
she's an average.
He knows this. When we were on one.
Yes.
Your fault.
Yeah. He knows this. Every single ep or every single Sunday, I would come back and be on some, yo, I saw this. I got this. Oh, you guys did this. Oh, you guys did that. Oh, so it's dope being out. So
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
and of
you.
course, we were actually speaking about you in the last episode of the POPcast.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
How are you feeling about your little feature there?
I appreciate it, you know. I guess it's synonymous with you, with what you guys do all the time on the show. It speaks some truth as it is, not sugarcoating some stuff. And,
Spicy.
and they take it how they will.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it nonetheless. So thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Where were you when you watched it? Was Pretty with you?
Yes.
Was your daughter there?
Yeah.
Family? I know you and your family are tight.
Yeah.
It was more than hip-hop with that little soliloquy. I just wanted to find out, like, where were you? Did you watch it with... How did that roll out?
So I was at home. Our baby girl was with her grandmother.
Africa.
Probably the cutest baby girl out here. But anyway, every mother says that. But Pretty and I were at home. We were in bed, and like we do every single week, we clicked onto it. Obviously, it popped up on our notifications, and we clicked onto it, and we started watching, and it was unexpected, simply because we don't, just like how that whole thing happened, which was me sharing a thought, which is what I don't usually do on Twitter. But I'm not in control of how people receive it, much like how you guys received that, and your interpretation of that experience and what you shared was unexpected. But we were open to it, and we received it with love, we received it with kindness, and so did the people who contacted us thereafter, who shared the same sentiments. So these are the conversations that people have with us, like, in back rooms or in our own private conversations, but never on a public platform where, someone is ballsy enough to say it.
Can I ask you a question? Because I said something that I really wasn't, like, sure on. But as a guy, I could sense when I said that niggas in the game want to not book or make Pretty the guy to get the money because they actually want to keep him broke so that you would leave him. Has that actually happened?
Yes. 110% it has. And I guess it somewhat to a degree did affect how I maneuvered in the game in consideration of him and the industry that he's in and his peers. It did affect how I maneuvered. So certain relationships, deciding who to work with and who not to work with, which company to keep, who do I entertain and who don't I? It affected all of that. It really did. And in many ways, like it's chats I've had with Pretty where I was just like, there was a time where I did speak to him years ago and I was like, I wonder if our relationship affects your work or affects your career. And I could remove myself emotionally and look at it from the outside and say, I wonder what factor I play in how things happen in his life, you know? And the factor that how his presence in my life and how it affects everything that happens with me. So I've realized it, I've seen it, you know? Yeah.
Pretty, we're gonna have you on pop radio.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, he's going into pop radio mode just before we get ahead of ourselves. But shout out to you because that's love, man. You know what I mean? I think it's important for people to also remember that there's bigger things in the world as opposed to just what you see on the screen. So shout outs for that.
Where is this? I've never been here before.
You've never been here?
No,
this is such a beautiful venue. We're out in Braamfontein. It's called the Artivist. It's owned by DJ Kenzero and Bradley. If you
DJ Bionic.
DJ Bionic. If you're an old school OG.
Yeah, basic.
But yeah, man, come through, check it out. It's a really awesome venue. They do a lot of events here. They also do, obviously there's a bar as well. So there's a restaurant upstairs. So it's like a basement area where we are right now, but there's also the restaurant upstairs. So come through, check it out. It's in Braamfontein. As you know, we're always supporting Black businesses. So yeah, this is one of those that you need to just show some love.
And just to add on Cosmo's words and Bontle's question, called the Artivist because it focuses on art, not just on a musical level. Like she said, downstairs is a live venue, upstairs is the DJ and the restaurant, but on the walls, there's also artists that can hang their photography or their paintings.
Yeah.
Activists on the art level. It's so, which level?
Goofy!
That way.
All right, so let's get straight into what we're chatting about today.
Yes, Kazi.
POPcast. You're supposed to be running the episode, my brother. I think you were giving me slack just now.
First of
Sebenza,
all,
brother.
let's talk about Emtee's release.
Yes! Logan is finally out. Did you listen this weekend?
Not yet.
I know you always take your time because you like wait for like the noise to pass.
Yes.
All right, so I listened because it would be awkward for one of us not to listen.
Yes.
I'm loving the sounds. I think for Emtee, we've kind of grown with where he was from where he was with Avery to Manando to obviously Logan coming out. And I think he was very like young and ambitious with Avery, but now you're hearing the growth, you're hearing the old man, you're hearing the responsibility he now holds. Firstly, as a label owner. Secondly, as a father. Thirdly, going independent. So I think you can kind of hear the shift in his energy with the music. A lot more soulful, because you know Emtee likes that soulful type of hip hop. A lot more songs, a lot more joints like that than they are like trappy, like hits. Yeah, there's
the
like
choruses are still 1,000.
Oh, of course, he's the
chorus
hook
king.
He's the hook god of the art.
I know a Flame would have issues with that.
Oh, no. We're gonna get spicy on that one a little bit later.
Doritos.
Anyway. But what I enjoyed is that I got to feel a little bit of more Emtee, the person, and what he's kind of gone through with some of the songs. Loving the features as well. Obviously, he features Loli Native and Brand New, but also comes in. There's another song called La Kasha. Where
I heard that one.
Yeah, that one's dope. It's like it's very like a caricature type of song, and they've obviously got a clip of La Kasha at the end of the song as well. Really dope. I like the energy on that one.
Let's fill the youngins on what La Kasha and who La Kasha is.
Hey, if you don't know, Scoot is nice.
Yes, sir. He used to collect the money. He used to have a wooden a bat.
Yeah.
But it was the pick. So it's the iron joint. Like Kasha used to just have the wooden joint. Just collect the money.
You say, hey, I'm a million wami.
Showcase.
Bring the money. But yeah, man, just go and listen to the song. You'll get a little bit of a sense of what La Kasha's about. I enjoyed also the only female feature.
Muesli!
You lie.
Actually, there's not a lot of features on the album.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of features on the album.
Yeah.
Muesli was the only female feature. Loli Native. Hey, I keep saying Vandal. Loli Native.
Maybe you should change your name, Loli Native.
No. That's actually another rapper, so you can't do that. Loli Native features on 2 singles. Then there was another feature that I saw, I can't remember. But yeah, there weren't that many features. I think they were like...
Kill It?
She did.
She
came through.
She does have these like spots of brilliance. There's a one track where she featured with Eau Rouge. And usually Rouge always murders shit.
All the time.
There's this one song where Mosley actually like is Kanye on Watch the Throne. You like...
Was it Basari?
No, that's the remix.
Yeah.
They have a song together.
Okay.
And Mosley, like when Kanye Watch the Throne type vibes. I'm just glad that she's growing like that.
Yeah, but you did say that the last time we spoke about Mosley, that she grows every time. Every time we kind of see her in the music space. So shout outs for that feature. And also, he brings in a lot of new artists, which I assume are his signees.
Yes.
As well as Flashy Kumkani is also on Akasha. Also got a new kid by the name of Gwamba. Don't even know exactly who he is. It's one of those, like, when he comes in, you're like, but then you listen.
And you want to know
because you pay attention. So shout outs to Emtee for kind of, switching up the status quo.
It's been rough for him to be able to release a project, name it after one of his sons.
Babies.
You know what I mean? It's been so rough for him. And I'm just glad, because no matter how rough it is, you still need to continue with your mission.
That's it.
And that's how everything will get okay. So, no matter what's going down, because I can see that he's going in the right direction. I know you listen to a lot of new school-ish. Have you listened to the Emtee?
So I haven't listened to it, but I have seen a lot of reviews and, people's response to it, which was really dope. I mean, it was great to see it, especially it being an independent release. And, independent artists really have it tough, So obviously this being an independent release and seeing the reception from everybody outside of South Africa, South African audiences, obviously, we love them. I mean, everyone's in his corner, But seeing that, I think, in
Botswana,
13 countries.
Namibia, Angola, Nigeria, the SADC, and then East and West, up north.
Yeah, so seeing that is dope, So obviously coming out of that, really, it's really dope. So coming out of that label situation, seeing that type of thing or response or love, not being just reserved for an Aries, but it's continuing with an Emtee is dope, and with what Java's doing is dope. So everyone who comes out of there, is finding their own, and it's just great to hear what an artist's intention is outside of the music, away from label influence, away from exec influence, and the environment and space that he was in, So obviously his music was a result of that. So what we're hearing now is a result of everything that he's been through, post all the accidents, post what happened with his wife, post what happened with the babies. It's all of these things, And so once music encompasses that and you feel that without having to know him personally, he's done a brilliant job.
I definitely agree.
100%. And the biggest mindfuck for me will always be the fact that...
Did you just swear?
Actually,
usually you don't do that.
That was a pleasant surprise.
Anyway, we're getting spicy.
Extra Dorito. We don't call it spicy no more. We're getting extra Dorito.
Shut up. Okay, so the biggest mind... the biggest mindfuck for me will always be when it comes to Emtee. When you interview him, I'm sure you guys have as well, obviously on the show. Like, he speaks slow. He's chill.
Emtee's the one guy we
have not spoken to.
Really?
Nah, we didn't get to speak to him.
So I spoke to him when he dropped Itemba. Very like, chill vibe. And then you listen to the verse and the songs and he's like, I'm like, how does that happen? Mama Sasha Fierce on the album, but then like real chill, vibes. I don't know. It's just like a character thing about him that I always enjoy, because I'm just like, okay, you get a different side of him when it comes to the music, because he expresses himself in the music.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yo, I went to Focalistics. I don't do Insta Live. I don't jump on people's Insta Lives.
That guy stays going.
No! Young Stilo is in Nigeria. Guys, Young Stilo.
Yes. Is this with Cosmo, ne?
He left the country with Cosmo to go to Kenya. And after Kenya, he didn't get to pack his bags. He went straight to Nigeria. And he's doing Insta Lives on Nigeria.
Aye.
Hard.
That is hard. That is hard. Speaking about Kamumpela, also shout out to her. She also dropped an EP called Nkulunkulu.
Yes.
And she also dropped her video on the same day, and she also got 1 million views within a week.
And she went to 1 million Instagram followers.
And she also got 1 million Instagram followers. And in the song, she says Nkulunkulu.
I know there was a video that just dropped someone did the choreography. I'm just trying to find
okay, I don't know. Something about that video tells me
somebody who might be here
that did the choreo. So I don't know. But yeah, what a beautiful artist. What a beautiful creative, so committed, so present. I mean, I've worked with a number of artists.
And she's young and she's
very young.
How old is
she's hungry, she wants it.
21.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that girl's out of here. Like she's out of here.
And she's gonna be in the UK in July.
She's booked till next year, July.
Yeah. Yep.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Booked and busy.
So how did you meet her? Because you also have a relationship with a Netflix movie series about dancing that you guys are shooting.
Yeah.
Can you give us some info on that?
Okay, so Gamo was the girl who used to bug me on social media and tag me in her videos. Like, yo, Bontle, can someone please tag Bontle? You know, so I'd seen her there, but it was like, there's so many of you kids out here, you know, like, what am I going to do? It happens all the time. Cool, we got to working, and I saw her rise. I saw it all happen on social media. I was like, yo, man, shout out to this girl. And then it was this Netflix series that really brought us together, right?
What's it called again?
So it's called Jiva. And as part of the dance casting, I had said it would be a sin for us to have a dance series and not have this girl. She is ahead of the culture. She is pioneering or is in the forefront of it. So to have her absent from the series would not make sense. If we're going to tell the story as truthfully and as authentically as possible, she's got to be there. And we can't not have her there. Anyway, so I was like, yo, guys, we need to get her. They call her up. She was expensive at the time. It was like, yo, so we have to call her offline. It's like, baby girl, mamela. I know.
Budget, easy.
Mamela, baby girl.
10 rand when you 100. That's nice.
But, you know. So it was getting her onto the show as a character, but also getting her music on there as was really like the objective. Anyway, so she comes on there. We start working. We rehearse. We're getting them prepared to shoot, and it was just seeing her work in that space that was just like, yo, man, this girl is really. She's so hungry for this, and she wants to do it on a level that nobody else has.
Is that how you got to choreograph her video that is now on the million?
Yeah. So obviously because we worked in that space, we got well acquainted with each other, developed a really great relationship with not just her, but with her dancers. And we've maintained that relationship. I mean, we live in the same complex, you know, so that made it a lot easier for us to be in the same space. And also we had always wanted to work together. Nkulunkulu was the first introduction to our, what we hope is a long, fruitful relationship, you know?
And I think it's also just beautiful on the timing as well.
Yeah.
Especially because I think she had also kind of popped up, like she had dropped some music previously, but I think a lot of her music fame had come through with features.
Yes.
So this is like her
first
personal EP that she feels she's worked on herself.
Yeah.
So shout out to you for also still being there, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, it was absolutely necessary. Also because like, I know a lot of people on social media and in real life have tried to pin us against each other. Obviously, styles, dancing, whatever else. And, you know, like every other sport where two people exist, you're going to make your comparisons, which is great. But for us, our collaboration, for us coming together, our power is in collaboration rather than in the conflict. And that's what we wanted to satisfy more than anything else. You know, so shout out to her. I love her and she's dope, man.
Oh, okay. Now we're going to move into another one. Like a Khaled. Now you have
another one.
Cosmo.
Good. All right, so since we're still giving some women some shine and some love, we're also going to give some shine and some love to Boity, who stays on our next
Die signature.
Every week as I'm dropping this, every week I'm dropping that, every week is a launch. Everything is I'm making money in this side, on this side, on that side. You ain't got to ask me twice. All right, so Boity dropped her new beverage. It's called Boity Signature.
Yeah, BT Signature.
Cacti franchise.
Yes. And I love that she offers an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic variant. Very well with the times right now, because sometimes you want a little something, but you don't want a tagua.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like me, like I'm on a detox, so at least I can drink it without getting the tagua.
Yeah.
So shout outs to, anyway. So shout outs to Boity for constantly pushing pushing the mark and always like trying to do something new, trying to say, look, I am more than just a personality. I'm more than just Instagram. I'm more than like it's the music. And
don't forget about the
it's the perfume.
The perfume.
It's the hair. It's the perfume. It's the alcohol now that's coming through. And she's constantly doing bigger things. You know what I mean?
You need a waist trainer line that also occupies the thighs for the squats and also manufactures the glutes. You need to go to talk to Gucci Man's wife. You can do it on an international level. You don't need to pay me for this. I'm just giving it to you.
Yeah, and if you can't afford it, don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, but then there was some conversation on socials about how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And I think
what?
BT Signature's price points.
The drinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the price point for a 24-pack in store at ShopRite, because she's put it at ShopRite, is going for 600.
Yeah.
Which is slightly above market because typically for a case. No, for a case.
Okay.
So typically for a case, you would pay plus minus around 400 rand.
Yeah.
For a case of ciders. So obviously people are just like, why is it a little bit more? And I think it goes back to the conversation we had about maybe it's not necessarily for whatever specific market. Maybe you just need to kind of pick it up a little bit and aspire to paying more so that you can enjoy a certain brand. I mean, B also came in with her MCC, which was a lot more expensive, and people were like, why is it a lot? That thing sold out.
Yeah.
So don't ask questions on why on Twitter.
60 grams.
Exactly.
Yeah. You are not the target who.
At the end of the day, it will be bought.
Yeah.
And also people need to realize that when you price something, you look at how much it costs to manufacture this thing. Now, because we are black, Boity doesn't own an SAP factory where she can make the liquor. So that company tells her, this is how much it costs to make it. Then that company says, this is how much it's going to cost when wholesalers like Ultra Liquors and everybody else buys it. They need to make their profit. This is including your 15% VAT. Then on top of that, Boity needs to make the profit. So the costing is always implicated into how much this thing is going to charge you as a customer. But be cheap, Boity wouldn't make money. And if Boity doesn't make money, this brand wouldn't sell because we didn't know this brand if it wasn't for Boity. So you guys need to understand what goes into the costings of things. Then you understand why you're paying that much. The 200 rand, if I'm selling you an item for 1,000, 800 rand is going to everybody that made it and helped me out. I will only get 100 rand profit, which has to be now divided to 25% of USAS.
Yes.
So these are the things you need to understand when you complain about prices and whatever.
And then she still needs to invest to then grow the brand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's marketing, there's other things that come involved.
Thank
It's
you.
not just the manufacturing.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
So shout outs to her, man. Like, I don't even know what Boity. Right now, she's like an entertainer. I can't say she's an actress. I can't say she's a rapper. I can't say she is like a hurricane force storming the SA entertainment industry. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that everybody just supports her. You know what I mean? Like she's that one person in the game where just you can't hate her. Like you just love her because she's Boity and she's such an amazing person as well.
Even if you do hate her, you still have to support. There's a lot of Boity haters, but they still gotta be like, hey, bitchy, I clean, I like him.
Nah, she's amazing, man. I mean, obviously, I was there with her and for her at the beginning of her rap career.
You also did her choreography for the videos and the shows.
Yeah, on tour when she for what's that?
Yes,
yeah,
bro.
Hey,
you know,
Bontle.
I drug me. I've been out here, drug. I've been out here, and she was incredibly nervous. So I know that she's like any other human being. When you're going to embark on something that is unfamiliar territory, you're going to be it can be intimidating. You'll be scared, but she does it anyway. And that's just how she's always been. So, you know, there were a lot of things and, you know, in her taking on this thing, like she's got big balls, man. That girl's got big balls. She's got really big balls. So, and obviously, you know, in seeing her socials and all the fitness stuff, I'm pretty sure that waist trainer is coming, if not some athleisure, something. But either way, I love her. I appreciate her. Her work ethic is insane. And it can only filter down to everyone else in the industry, you know, and maximizing and realizing what your power is and doing something with it. You know, so shout out to her.
By the way, remember when we met Maps at Lonely Hearts in Melville?
Yes.
I saw Bonang at Lonely Hearts in Melville.
Hi, boy!
7. The avenues are this way, 7th Street. Lonely Melville B.
Bonang.
I was like,
That's crazy.
who's taking the champagne? I was like, you're taking the champagne.
Meeting with a purpose.
Yeah, people thought that it was about her meeting them. But I was like, oh, we're coming to sell the Shaza here.
Yeah.
But the fact that B, you were there, I saw you. I don't think you saw me. I was like, you know when you want to go greet someone, you're like, yeah. She was in there, auspices of the midst of 7, and Melvin. And Wangumdu is like crazy and leaving it alone. So shout out to that.
Yeah,
another spot that's blowing up.
So we also have just some sad news as well, just to kind of dwell on. Some people that we've lost this past week. From a hip-hop space, DMX, a legend has fallen.
Stop. Drop. Shut him down and open up your shop. No. That's a right as he roll.
Oh my gosh. And that performance at Woodstock that has trended on social media this past week. Someone even said like DMX once performed in front of half of the world, like half of the world's population, because that was crazy.
I was there.
What?
Yeah. I was there for the Woodstock, and I saw him 2 years ago when I went to Atlanta for the One Music Festival. I actually got the video. Sure. But you know when someone passes away, you don't want to post.
Exactly, and look like that guy. Because I was also like, hey, should I not? Because I saw him at the Roots Picnic performance. But I had seen him 2016 when I was out there. And even there, like I actually saw him like up close. Like he was already looking.
Do you have some of your footage?
I do.
I also have mine. So maybe we won't post it.
I don't.
Don't worry, you are in the show now. We'll post it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But yeah, man, even then he had so much energy. And what I loved the most about watching him at that Roots Picnic performance was, because obviously they've got different stages. One person's on one stage at a different time. Yeah. So I had initially was at the stage where Swiss Beats was on. And he was like wilding out. And he checked his watch. He's like, I'm cutting my performance short. My dog is about to jump on stage. And he literally ran from his stage to the next just to jump on with DMX at the right time. I was like, that's love.
I can't get up. Slip it. I'm on it. I can't get up.
Yo, we stepping.
I'm on it. I got to get up.
Get back on my feet. Tear shit up.
Oh, man.
We've been through mad different phases. Anyway.
Yeah, so I know obviously DMX probably doesn't really speak to like the younger generation right now, but I think just for hip-hop as a whole, we know the impact that he made.
I actually got the albums on CD. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. And then there was X. I will shoot it on WhatsApp, Teasy, I'll send it to you. And Teasy just went like this. No, I can't. What's next?
All right, so somebody else we had to bid farewell to this past week, which I think was more painful for South Africa. Dr. Cindy van Zyl passed away this past week from COVID complications. All right, so Dr. Cindy van Zyl was a medical doctor, but outside of that, she was also just a Twitter mom. She was one of those people who was just...
Is she black or white?
Black.
So
married an Afrikaans man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, this is rest in pyramids.
So she's actually from Zimbabwe, originally from Zimbabwe, but moved to South Africa to do her medical practice and her schooling. Actually, she studied at Tux.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So she was just one of those people who was just always on the timeline, always speaking to people. And that's, I think, why everybody's so emotional over it, because she was one of those people that made everyone feel like their family. She would know about you and she would follow your career, even though you didn't know she was watching. I remember I also had an experience with her once. I was playing at like a Google event or whatever. I'd never met her before. I'd always just seen her name on socials. And like she literally came and she was like, oh my gosh, it's Miss Cosmo. I was like, wow, okay, you actually know who I am. No, but even then, like, for me, it's like, she's a doctor. You would think like her content follow is
before
like
a DJ, you were a banker though.
I mean, anyway, I'm just saying from a perspective of who you follow on social media doesn't necessarily translate in person. You know what I mean? So for me, I was like, oh, okay, she actually sees me like that. And I think everyone has that experience with her. It's like, oh my gosh, you actually knew who I was. Even though for her, she was literally just the Twitter mom who just enjoyed the timeline. She was also on Kaya FM as well. She had a segment on there. And I think that's why people grew to love her so much, because she was a people's person. You know what I mean? And also just so sad this past week was that she had also gotten to a stage where her family couldn't afford to pay her medical bills
But wait,
anymore.
how?
And the crazy part about it, well, she had been in hospital for a couple of months. So obviously their savings and the medical aid, I think, had gotten to a point where they couldn't pay anymore.
Yeah.
And she still needed to stay in hospital because also she was in ICU, which is way more expensive. So there was a drive on social media this past week where they wanted to raise money because she needed about 2 million.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 million rand just to kind of pay for the rest of her expenses. South Africa came with the fire because that's how much love they
And South Africa's done this 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
They first started with Sibu Mabena and her Shandis.
For the students,
For the students. Then Nelson, Latuma, and Coffee did the fam joints. They are close to 3 million because that's what they wanted to raise. Now I'm hearing about this story.
And remember, they also did it with the KFC wedding as well.
Yeah.
So South Africans can come together.
Can do it.
Yeah.
South Africans can come together when they believe in the same cause.
So Dimples, can we have an account where we ask South Africans to give us 10 rand to help us with POPcast? I think we can raise a mill. I know Doritos got us, but I think we can actually do this extra. Extra spice.
All right, so just kind of, closing off with Dr. Cindy, I think it is a very sad time because they did raise, I think, almost 1.5 million. So in a week.
In a week.
In a week. 1.5 million was raised just to help her with her expenses.
Yeah.
Because it just goes to show how much everybody loved her. She was the Twitter mom, like I mentioned.
Yes, she was, man. I mean, she made everyone feel seen and feel important. She was so present and so
Were you following her before this?
Yeah. I followed her way before that. In fact, she
helped me. What made you follow her?
She helped me through my pregnancy.
Wow.
She did. She helped me through. It was tough for me, particularly in my 3rd trimester. The conversations about whether to give birth naturally or to have a C-section. And she guided me through that process to instill or to reinstill my confidence in doctors and what their intention may be, behind a certain procedure, So she was so wholesome. She loved her caramellos. That's what she called her babies. She always expressed what she loved. So you always knew what brands she appreciated. She was just so consistent, so kind. And that's why it's such a big blow for everybody. No one ever contemplated that she wouldn't make it through. But COVID hit her in Feb or Jan.
And as a doctor.
And she couldn't breathe on her own as a doctor.
And she was keeping people abreast of her journey as well because she kept posting. She was literally posting from her bed with the wires and everything connected and the ventilator. She's like, hey, I've always been a Twitter person. You guys are going to live through this with me.
You know what I feel like right now? I feel like a bit of a chauvinist because if it was a male going through this, I would have known. But because it's a woman, I'm oblivious. And she has so much value, not just to music or hip hop, but to people. And because I'm a man, I just didn't think it was important. And the way I even approached it right now.
Yeah.
And this is our problem as dudes. If I can be honest about it, like if I can face this thing like this, can you imagine how many things niggas are just like, doesn't involve me.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know what I mean? So, speaking of, actually, I heard this news from you, Cosmo, so I think you should unleash.
All right, so there's also just been word of a recent passing which actually happened this past weekend. And it's quite sad to actually hear how things have kind of transpired and whether, I don't know what kind of caused it, whatever the case may be. But we did get news that Keenan, AKA, and his fiancée Nelly were in Cape Town. And she, I guess, committed suicide. She jumped out of a window at the hotel that they were staying at. Very sad news for us to hear. And I think it's also at a time where the past 2 podcasts we've been speaking about how excited we are about their wedding. And for this to kind of be the ending or the result of their love is actually very, very heartbreaking. And I guess our love and our prayers go out to both families, both to Nelly Tembe's family as well as to Keenan Forbes' family.
Oh, man. This hurts.
Did you know?
I had no idea. I mean, I'm hearing this for the first time and I don't know how to take it. Also because it just
Is it verified?
Like it's
proper.
Confirmed.
Because I know how you never speak on shit unless it's got a green and a blue tick.
I don't speak about it.
Dance is tough because you don't even obviously seeing the trajectory and the promises of what their future might have looked like. I mean, when you go into something like this, linyalo, lobola, uyahai, like,
and you have gone through it.
Yeah, you know, your spirit, your soul, your energy, your life, your thoughts, your ideas, your goals are probably at its most optimum, if anything at all, you know? So I would assume that the coming together of their families in their union, you know, that this is, this is so...
It's crazy because in December, there was a newspaper and like web clips where there was a lady at the Hilton who was trying to commit suicide by jumping off the penthouse of the Hilton. And it was a story that was ran, but no one was mentioned. But I think people in the know knew who it was because they mentioned a famous Joburg rapper dating a Durban girl, blah, blah, blah. And that was hard to take in. Now it's like, damn. And I just was with these people speaking about it on the show. And to be honest, everybody has been scared about this, you know? Especially, I think, after December, everyone was scared. And when he actually went to the family, he saw the pictures, I was like, oh, okay. To be honest with you, I'm just really like, I'm worried about Keenan's energy, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to speak about AKA right now. I'm just worried about Keenan's energy. And he survived a lot of things, but the people around him don't survive as much as him. You know? Don't let it be finessing. You ain't lying, you be lioness. Yo. Wait, cause can I just act like I'm in the middle seat? I know I'm seeing these beautiful ladies in the game. Like, I just really feel like it was all worth it, man. It was all worth it. There's a lot of things that's been happening in the game. She told me about it. I'm just gonna act like I see.
Of course, take it.
I do this on radio with Bontle.
Take it.
But anyway, TikTok, take it away.
Wow!
You said nothing. TikTok has officially signed a contract with Samro. This is not the rodeo, okay? Relax. Anyway, all right, so they have signed an agreement with Samro that they will start paying South African artists for their music playing on their platform.
Wow.
So for every play, South African artists will get a payment from TikTok.
Wow.
Obviously, you know, these amounts are very low, but the fact that they're getting money out of it is still a bonus because
we can push the figure up depending on how big we are.
TikTok is huge, and a lot of songs are breaking on TikTok. A lot of it's the new thing now. Where a lot of artists are even making songs for TikTok so they can blow up on TikTok.
And dance moves.
You know what I mean? So shout out to TikTok, man, for recognizing the artists. I think that's really dope.
Yeah. Shout out TikTok. Shout out to the TikTok community and everyone that makes it pop. So all the creatives, all the dancers, take yourself seriously as well. I say that because obviously a lot of people do a lot of things, especially as dancers. You think going viral is the thing, which is great. It doesn't necessarily change your life as such if you don't know what to do with it. So be smart with how you use your platform as well. Treat yourself as a business and not just a thing where you can get on in front of your camera and do something and put it out there, which is dope. TikTok, if you can recognize Black creatives as well, if you can recognize the people that create the stuff and remunerate dancers too, I think that would be great.
Yes.
You're starting your own dance factory. Right? Studio.
Yes, sir.
Is this live after radio? Huh?
Yeah.
This is live.
It was live during.
Live during the rodeo. And now live after the rodeo.
Yeah, well, it's YFM's fault. It's not ours.
That's it. But anyway. So I am opening my own dance studio. I have Bontle Africa Productions as well.
Yes.
So this is me going into cinematography, shooting, editing, creating. Simply because, you know, as someone who has been in the industry, there's a lot of things I can be unhappy with, but complaining about it does nothing. So I'm actively in it. So shout out to me, shout out to dancers, shout out to the future of dance. You're taken care of. You've got a home with me.
No doubt.
Yeah, and I know actually this is a very personal thing, but I wanted to give you a bit of a shout out because you also did a dance thing for a friend of mine who just did her 40th. Tanya. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there, but then I was gigging, and life happens. But I saw you in the pictures, and I was like, oh, Bontle's like busy teaching the white girls how to dance. I was like, shut up.
Yes, boo. Yes, boo.
Can I ask you as a question?
Yeah.
I Nandaba in the camera crew. Dimples. Nandaba now. Could we do a radio show together? Do you think it's possible?
I think so.
I mean, we've done it. We're doing it now.
Cool. I said to check that out. It's like a Vic Mensa show that we did on Pop Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you better look out for it. And look out for it. Don't worry. That Vic Mensa episode is coming up. And it's going to be so hot next week, Tuesday. And you know what?
Extra Doritos on me. Extra triangle.
What I do think is really awesome also is just his energy. Like, you're going to see it in the episode. You're going to see the vibes. And also, shout outs to Scoop, because I didn't realize how much of a fan he was until we shot that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of just Vic Mensa. I'm just a student of a game.
Okay. Well, that came through in the episode. So shout outs to you. So if you want to hear what we're talking about, obviously make sure you tune into that Pop Radio episode next week, Tuesday. Thank you so much, Bontle, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your energy, for your love, for your support, for constantly watching, for giving us your views because we need them.
Yes.
For subscribing.
Can I ask you for a favor now?
Yes.
So can you just put us on the Insta story? Don't just watch. Can you just tag now? And no, not just this episode because you're on it. Even the next one if you're not on it.
Because I'm in this one. Because I'm in this one, I'll put this one on the timeline so it lives there.
I know that we're going to get an extra 30,000 people.
Just
I know
about.
that for a fact.
Just about.
We'll have your husband on Pop Radio.
It's my gift to you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You see how you were speaking about whether what you do influences each other's careers?
Yeah.
No doubt, and I'm just glad, like, on the real, this is the year that I have, in terms of like opening up myself to not just males. I've just been so male orientated in my whole life.
Yeah.
I've opened up myself to not just sex and gender.
Yeah.
I've opened up myself to spirits and souls.
100%.
And a lot more feminine energy
100%.
has built me up more than men have torn me down. I really want to thank you guys. Like,
I've actually noticed that a lot.
Yes.
Because obviously knowing Sia from, earlier days to Sia now, you can see the growth. You can see how you've accepted a lot more. You've made room for it as well. And I'm appreciating that of you. So shout out.
And also, you're a very harsh girl, but you teach in a very subtle way.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for always supporting us. Thank you for always watching us. Thank you for growing with us. Shout outs to Doritos, who's giving us the extra angles on the extra spicy triangle.
Stay tuned. We still have the social tonton and the thread cow.
Because he does this all the time. I just wanted to do it for myself. So we've done a lot of times. But I'm not Dizzy Waffles, but I be clapping the board on you like him. 4, 3, 2, 1, hut. Calling it down now in the Artemis in Joburg. Woo! Oh, Cos, you gave me 2. It is a thread count. Let me start it nicely with you guys. I'm fucking with Jonathan D. Hard. It's the heritage brand you knew from way back. They used to make the golfer shirts that were striped with a little cursive writing. They used to give you like pants and jeans. Your uncle in the farms used to wear it. You never loved it. But now, got extra hot, spicy sauce on it. And this is how it looks like. After those shoes, my niggas, come on. Stop playing yourself. I always told you I'm a sports guy that loves luxury. The label is Sports Luxe. Don't fucking play me. It's a tracksuit. I'm not done with you. Got it bought on with a drawstring. The pockets at the back. Come on, dog. Don't play me, dog. It's a tracksuit literally because it's a track top, the track pants, and it is a suit. We're also giving you these poor boy hats. I mean, look at the construction. My brother, look at the construction. The other poor boy hat. Look at the construction. The color scheming on you. Are we oh no, we're not done. These are the caps. I'm still wearing the hat. 18, I'm turning 39 on the 16th of April. Jeans and sneakers don't do it for me. I need pleated pants and Scotch material. Paying close attention to the fabric. I could literally, a newborn baby could like wrap themselves around in this cloth and they won't get a rash. Got basic t-shirts like the one I'm wearing now. The packages come so hard I have to unwrap them with you. Different colors. Like different colors. Like different colors. More pants. Like, I haven't worn them. I'm also unraveling things for you as I'm seeing it. I've talked about a lot of labels, but like all those other niggas I had to buy shit from and they never paid me. This nigga is giving me clothes and they paid me. So for once, they has the Cosmo's Okada and they has the Timber's Okada. Kodwa ngicela ukukhuluma ngale brand. Aqedi lapha. Now, where can we fucking go? Wait. I know you saw these. You've already seen these. This is the new winter called the Archie. If you are familiar with the comic strip, sheesh, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that's not all. Now the other one. Nigga, please, man. Don't fuck with me. The other one. I'm actually posting this like soon because I actually like hit it up real nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I got for you this week. Shout out to the thread count. Ngiyabila engathi ngidle. Flamin Hot ngoba siyashisa. Bye.